So thank you everyone for joining us here on another Monday. For those of you that are new, my name is Sinful and I am your host here for Beyond the NFT. Joining me tonight is an artist, creator and founder of Waifuman, and League of Legends lover, of course. Give it up for Aaron Leupp.
Woo woo! Giving it up to myself, shoot.
How you feeling tonight, Aaron?
Good, man. As we were saying earlier, it's great. The fire is around us. It is rising, but it's a lot of fun, and we're going through it together.
I agree. Ooh. Definitely. Like right before starting the show, we were kind of going over about kind of saying how this is the first time in history where crypto markets could look like shit. Absolute shit, and we still have a place where we could all get together and suffer together.
Yes. There's no other way to do it. I was during the pandemic. I didn't really know about Decentraland until a little bit into it. But it would have been nice to know, because every day, I was actually lived right in Los Angeles, on Vine Street. So it was pretty much riots on a daily basis, and it was like Gotham City. Every day, people were breaking the windows and stuff below us, and even one time, I wanted a bottle of Jack Daniels, but I couldn't get in the store because they kept closing it down and people kept robbing it and stuff. But this one guy robbed it, and he came out and he was selling them for $5 a piece on the street. So I was like, all right, cool. I guess if I can't go in and buy it, I guess I got to buy it from this guy.
I mean, that's a good business model he got there.
That he's got, yeah.
Step 1, build street cred. Step 2, sell the liquor in the streets since you won't get stabbed.
Right, but no, I mean this would have been a lot more fun than doing that. That's for dang sure.
Well,
man, people are really popping that twerking emote. It's wild.
Have you gotten yours yet?
No, I haven't. I got to get on it, but I just saw Delton. She be popping it. Mana Daiquiri's doing it, and Father Finn, of course, always rocking it. It's hilarious. You guys are killing it.
Yeah, I love it too. And it seems like the metaverse is twerking right now. It's it's hilarious and fun to watch.
Truth.
I just want to do a few shout outs. I see official CryptoCube, Goldilocks. What up, Father Finn, Tank Poco, and Archery, you in the building? What's up, Fermion? Has Billy T Coin, Mr. 69, made contact with us yet? Not yet, but he will shortly.
I love him.
I saw Formosa in the crowd, that's why I thought I'd ask. So back to your comment on you wish you would have known about the metaverse Decentraland during the pandemic. How long have you been on Decentraland?
That is a good question. I think about over a year or so ago. Okay, so because my birthday was May 11th, which is kind of passed recently. My last year on May 12th, I had a birthday party in the casino, and we did the first Waifuman launch, and so that January. So yeah, last year January is when I started, and I was kind of just more fanboying. I was just casino, always hanging out in the casino. I went to Zeta. He was one of my first friends. He showed me his gallery, and I just was a degenerate, lost a bunch of money in the casino. But the first Waifuman ever made is actually before Pepe Frog dealer. It used to be a little robot, and they still have him in the aquarium casino, and so I made a Waifumon based on that because I just thought it was funny. Every time we lost money to it, we would always like walk up to it and like start like calling it words and threatening it and trying to fight it, but it kept that smile on, and I just love that optimism. And I was like, you know what, this, if anything should be a Waifumon, it should be that robot. So that was the first Waifumon ever made, and that was back, like I said, in January of last year, pretty much.
I mean, you're pretty right. The optimism that robot could hold is impeccable compared to Pepe. You just call him a bitch once and he's already tearing up.
It's very true. It's very true. It's like that thing never cried. Pepe cries off everything. It's like, oh man, feels bad, man. Feels bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it's just like a tactical sad Pepe, because think about it this way: ice poker makes a lot of people very sad. So so maybe they bring Pepe in to match the energy.
I love that. I think that's good. So it's like we get to cry together kind of thing. I like that. I like that.
We cry in unity. I see that Billy T Coin has rated us with a party of 20. Thank you, Billy, and welcome to the stream.
The legend. I'm rocking his. I'm rocking the meows too, but I'm rocking his 6'9" as well. So perfectly relevant.
Oh yeah, I gotta get me one of those 6'9" bubbles.
Yes. I think I got two for a while because I needed a closer look at it because I was making his Waifumon, and it was a perfect timing too because right when I was making his Waifumon is when I hit 6,900 followers, and I was like, dude, it has to be the giveaway for you has to be, it has to be yours because you're always rocking the 6'9", and I was like, oh, it's perfect, and we put it on his Waifumon and can't have it any other way.
and a legend was born.
Yes. Yes.
Much love to you, Billy. I see Bubbles, Manadakari, Formosa in the Twitch chat. Welcome, everyone. And Fermion. Of course, I should have known Fermion would be here.
Yes, and Peanut Butter.
Peanut Butter?
Peanut Butter.
Oh,
yeah, Dr. Green Thumb, Peanut Butter. And Animate Kirk, Art U, Bitfiend, Goldilocks, South Doves, Formosa, Alice Games, Father Finn, of course, aka Ours. Everybody's in the house. Coke's Mush, sorry if I said it wrong. Parvis, Kokuzuto. I'm just butchering everybody's names. And Ramsey, I love it. There's a lot more too, but I think if I keep saying everybody's names, official Cube Man, it's not gonna be good for any of us.
So Aaron, currently I have pulled up on the screen. It's the Waifumon that you had made for me.
Yes.
I remember while we were talking about it, you were kind of telling me what kind of inspired you to make it look like this. By any chance, would you remember?
Let's take a look. Yeah, so there was a lot of things that I liked about it. One is because Sinful meat stick, right? So I was like, she's got to be holding a meat stick, and so I thought of a Slim Jim was perfect. So we got her holding the Slim Jim, and we also got her have that because she's sinful, so she's got that little this mischievous face like Sinful, being a very sinful meat stick. So this was before you had your meow bubbles. Let's see if I redid it now, which is probably something that we got to do ASAP, which I'll probably do. Got to stick with more of the purple theme because you got the meow bubbles now and stuff and all that. But this was a while ago. I think we did this, and I think also as well when I was pitching it to you, I think you were like, it was like a lot of stuff was going on at once. So I kept pitching it to you, and I was like, hey, what do you think about this? You're like, man, I don't know. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll give you time. And then it was a while, and everyone kept saying, we want the Sinful meat stick Waifumon. We want the Sinful. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna release it. Sinful, you might not like me ever again, but we got to give the crowd what they want. They wanted the Sinful meat stick Waifumon. So. Oh
man, that's actually pretty awesome that people were banging your line for a Sinful meat stick waifu. Oops, I didn't know that those were the repercussions examples of me just not answering for 2 months.
It's truth. It's truth. They're like, when are you making a Sinful meets the wife? That was literally the question. I said, I did make a Sinful wife one. It's just in queue. And they're like, what does that mean? I mean, like, he has to approve it. He has to say something. I'm not gonna just release stuff. I mean, I have a couple times done that in the past, and for the most part, people have been cool to it. Sometimes people are like, wait, hold up. And like 98% of the time, people are like psyched, or they're like, yo, could you change this or that, because they wanted something extra, you know? But I was like, you never know. I just don't want to be like, you know, I just don't want to be rude. You're like, wait a minute. You're like, you know, what if you were like a vegetarian or something, and I made, you know, your wife one holding a Slim Jim? I just think that wouldn't be cool, you know?
Exactly. I truly apologize for waiting 2 months to confirm that. And I promise I'll work more diligently in the future.
No. Yeah, it was there during that time too. A lot was going on. I think it was even, I could be mistaken, but I think it was Zuckerberg week too. So like, it was like, you know, we were just hanging out in Decentraland, and then like a lot of events and streams and everything started happening. So it was a busy time for sure.
Oh yeah. So it's funny you say it was some, they were busy times, but in all honesty, it feels like we're just ramping up even more. Like, it seems like every week it's getting busier and busier.
Yes. No, it's definitely true. I can't remember who it was, whether it was like Nicole or UMAC or somebody. They said that like missing like a day or so in Decentraland is missing like 10 years. Like IRL in terms of events and things that have happened. It's impossible to keep up, which is, you know, awesome, you know, because it used to be like, you know, there was one thing that everyone knew about and that was it, and it was still fun. But now it's like the quantity is been ramping up, and it's been great to have so many different events, different creators, different, you know, just so much variety. It's been a lot of fun to check out.
Yeah, it definitely seems like there's something going on at all times. My personal input on that is I want to see more overnight events overnight in our time, because overnight in our time is like, could be daytime in Asia, you know? Like, I want to see more events for them, because I feel like that is kind of like an untapped market. That, like, you know, there are people in Asia coming into the Decentraland and checking it out, but I feel like they're not getting the full you know, experience yet.
1,000% agree. And it's crazy too, because like a lot of people that just some random streamers to name off, like Billy T Coin and Sir Drop, you know, and some others, they're based in Australia, you know, and so that's why I'm always like impressed when I like see them at things, because I'm like, whoa, dude, that's what's up. Because I mean, I have a bad sleep schedule, so I'm sure they do too, but they're a totally different time zone, you know. They're like pretty much the opposite, and I'm sure they're having the same problems as kind of like you said in the Asian market and stuff, where people, they come and they log on and they're just, and there's like, oh, everything's on when I'm sleeping.
Time to go snack rocks.
Yeah, that's their options are a little bit more limited, but I think things are expanding. I'm not 100% sure on I don't know if you know of I'm drawing blanks here, but Doge, the 3D Doge spot. I think they are doing like a bunch of events for like just the Chinese market, and they're working with partners. Then last I talked to them, this was like 3 months ago, so but yeah, I think that's what I heard, that was in the works, so I was like kind of like happy about that.
I see, and I'm looking in Twitch chat right now. Job had mentioned that Meta Trackers is trying to work on something for events for the Asian market as well. So, hey,
Nice.
so I guess the future will be bright. Perhaps let's just keep pushing them.
Yes, well, we don't want to push them too hard.
Yeah, push, create.
Well, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's a little bit tough, you know, especially some of them that actually live in China. It's a little bit harder just because, you know, there's some legal things going on there. But, you know, I actually have a couple clients that, you know, I obviously won't name names, but they live in China. and they're very active in this, and they really like love doing it. One of them, they were actually the people that first hired us to do that kind of, which became Metakuza, which is one line that we have. It was like their original concept that they hired us. They wanted just like a profile picture of a cool like anime thing. And they hired us to do it, and then they kind of just dropped the ball. They just kind of wanted to pivot to something else, and then I was like, hey, can we just continue this? Yeah, CK Bubbles knows what's up. They wanted, and so I said, can we just keep going with this? And they're like, sure, do whatever you want, we don't care, because we worked hard on all this artwork, and so we just started adding Decentraland wearables on them and stuff, like they didn't know what we were doing. And then they're like, cool, whatever. And we launched it, and it's been a lot of fun. But now they hired us to do like this really crazy Egyptian line. It's like this Anubis painting type stuff. But yeah, they're just like every month they're just going to the next project So hopefully more. And I always offer them opportunities like, hey, if you guys ever want to do a party or anything in Decentraland, like, which I think they're finally catching on, because honestly, Bored Ape Yacht with their other side metaverse is really kind of like bringing a lot of eyeballs, I think, to this space, which is really cool.
Yes, I mean that's definitely what's going on. All the blue chip holders, and I mean I know that there's like a whole sector of I guess what would be considered Web3. I mean, that only lives on Twitter. Like I've heard a certain group say that they believe that Twitter is a metaverse in itself, which kind of makes me want to throw up, because because the day they set foot on Decentraland, they will be like, I take back any comment I ever made about Twitter.
That's hilarious. I mean, the only way that actually that there isn't a way, but I was like, basically, like Twitter and Facebook is really good, for like pumping out stuff, and Instagram for in real life, and Twitter has been a great place to kind of the same thing, but in real life is the metaverse, So I mean, I think what they're trying to say is that, yes, it does really, it's a good platform to communicate that, but it's not in itself a thing. There's just no way. It's basically like I had like maybe like a couple hundred followers that I probably even bought, like when I started Twitter like a decade or two ago, and like it was just political stuff, it was just people, no one was really, it was just not an interesting thing. But then the NFTs thing started, and I was kind of hitting it, doing this and that with it. And it was kind of hitting ground, but the real momentum came from Decentraland, because I just kept going to all these parties like this one right here, which is a lot of fun, just taking selfies with everybody, going to the MetaZoo and the casino parties, and just having fun, taking pictures of each other with their wearables, and just having a good time. And that's what really started the launch of my momentum with my Twitter. And that's like, yeah, that's if it wasn't for Decentraland, really, I wouldn't have had the motivation and the to keep going, which is now I'm like over 10,000 followers, and it's something I would have never thought of to even try, before Decentraland.
Sheesh. Okay, so how long after setting foot on Decentraland did you decide to start making waifumons of our community members?
That's a good question. Like I said, the first one was like maybe January, February. I can look up on OpenSea the exact date. Was when the first one was made after the bot, and then I started making of like other things that I wasn't making them necessarily of people. I was making them of like things that I saw in Decentraland, and then I started making them of people that like streamers like you and people that were like creating their own NFT collections and just like I said, it's just like every time somebody asks about like Waifumon, I'm just like straightforward with them. I was like, it's basically started off as, and it's kind of still is to me, as like a fan art collection. But it was let's take a look right here. I'm clicking on the oldest, and so it's let's see. Okay, so the oldest one is Decentraland Casino. It was, let's see, it says, oh damn it, it just says a year ago. It doesn't say the exact date. I'll post it in the Twitch. That's the URL. This is so old that it's on the Ethereum. It's on the Ethereum collection. Because I started the Waifumon collection on the Ethereum collection, but it's everybody's tripping about the gas prices now because of the of the economy. But when I launched Waifuan in the Decentraland party on my birthday, the Ethereum gas prices skyrocketed. Like, it went mad. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, everyone was like, dude, I want to buy this Waifuan. I was selling them for same I do now, like $10, $5, or $10, like $50. There's one that was going for $100, but people are like, but the gas is like $300. So to buy a $10 Waifuan and pay $200 gas, it just doesn't make it doesn't make any sense, you know? And I totally get it, you know? Like, I was like, oh man, that's why Aizu was talking to me about, he was like, you know, Matic, you know, check out Matic. It's the low gas and this and that. And I didn't really understand what he was talking about, but I'm so happy he taught me about it because, yeah. So the first one I made, I'm looking through this collection right here. So this is the collection, and I'm posting it in Twitch right now. The first one I made was off of Zeta. That was my first friend I made in Decentraland, which is this one right here. And of course, you guys, if you guys know Zeta, you can predict there's not 1 inch of skin showing on it. That's Zeta's thing. And then the next one I did, which was on
If you'd like, you could pull up a screen share.
oh nice, yeah, let me do that right now. Let me do that. So I'm posting the links in the Twitch if anybody wants to see, but I'll do a screen share. Let's take a look. Share my screen. See. Can you guys see this or no?
Something started to happen and then it didn't happen.
And then it went away. All right, let me try one more time. Resolution, I'll do low. Maybe that was what was going on. But yeah, while you guys are waiting, you can see that it's the MetaZoo one is the next one that I did, and I posted that in the chat. Dang, it's not letting me. And then some of the other casinos I started making Waifuan based on as well. But yeah, that was the first one I did, was based on a person.
It's not loading. Let's see. It says reduce quality. Experiencing reduced quality.
Let me try. Then let me try up in the quality. That might be it. Because I've done it before. Let's see. Turn the camera on. Stop streaming. Mute. I'll try this one more time. Let's see if it works.
Everyone can see the bump I gave you earlier, the belly bump. Bump.
Yeah, I gave you a good bump back. Yep, I guess that's.
Oh, he'll be back.
Okay, I just disconnected myself. But yeah, I guess what I'll do is I'll share if you guys want to see in the Twitch chat. But yeah, those were the first ones that I started doing. Like, again, these were on the Ethereum collection, so. That was the first collection we did. And then now we have the normal Waifuan collection, which is you buy off the site and it gives you one randomly generated of the 150,000. And then the promo collection, which is what I just make a bunch and give out for free. But the promo collection, I mean, most of you guys probably already know this stuff, but just in case if you don't, like, it's gotten out of control. We have over 100,000 owners now, and yeah, and I thought no one would even really they would just keep them just for fun, like POAPs, but people have made like over 1.6 Ethereum just selling them to each other. So I'm like, all right, cool, keep at it, you know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So how long after starting, you know, after Zetas and MetaZoo's Waifuman did this one come along? I'm currently showing the MetaZoo toga.
Nice. Yeah, that was during the MetaZoo event they had, which was the toga party, which was a lot of fun. I made it specifically for that Coke Smash. Coke Smash says that you can't see it. If you want to put it up on screen.
Oops.
But
there we go.
Yeah, it was thanks Frisky Bumblebee too for saying that's super cool. DCL history, odd job. Yeah, exactly. Gothweep, yep. But yeah, it's that was made off the yoga toga party that we had, and I got so blessed with that just because I was like kind of just asking them, just basically, what do you guys working on? Like, I just want to like, they knew that I was kind of a fan, boy of their stuff. So I was like, well, whatever. I just want to make more waifu mons based on your guys' stuff. And they're like, oh, we're having a secret toga party. And I was like, oh, cool. And they showed me some prototypes, and I literally delivered that to them like a couple hours before, and they like threw it up like right away, and it was an awesome party, and everybody was like, whoa, like I'm wearing the same outfit the waifu wants wearing. They did such a great giveaway with those togas. Everyone had such a good time. That was also the first time too I ever saw the Pepe dealer as well. They got that inside scoop. That was before they replaced the robots. That was kind of cool too that day. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that I just accidentally just stumbled into a secret toga party. Because that, in all honesty, was like I had been in Decentraland before that event, but that was the event that actually like hooked me due to like I got my first wearables like that were given to me for free, as well as a waifumon. Like I like joined the waifumon Discord like shortly after, where I met Father Finn, Zeus, Shatner, like also pretty much everyone. Like everyone is in that Discord still.
Hell yeah. No, that was a fun party. Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, that's just it. It's Springboard. I'm just so happy for that party because, right now we're like killing it, and Baby Dolls are killing it. It's like a really fun party. It's like all these parties kind of like springboarded from kind of that. There was parties before, but just like what you said, which is the biggest thing, which is it's all about Willio says that's my favorite wearable, and yeah, I totally agree. And they said that's where they met you too. Yeah, it was just like such a fun event, and it was one of a lot of people's first NFT, and which is the waifumon and NFT wearable, which is, so I give massive props for kind of them leading the way on that. And it was just it was a lot of fun. There was even people that it's so funny. This one person I met that's in LA, they were talking to me about the metaverse, and I was like, oh, you played Decentraland? They're like, yeah. And then they're like, me and my girlfriend went to this really cool party. It was like a toga thing. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. I was like, I was there. I was giving up the waifu. They're like, wait, you're the waifu guy? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, whoa, this is wild, because, this is just like a fun game. But I was like, whoa, people in real life are starting to know what's going on. So they hit a whole level with that event. And I think, I just posted a YouTube URL in the Twitch chat. I literally screen recorded the entire event just because I was having so much fun. And I did that was an event too where it was so packed that we had that like people were like spread out through the servers. Like each one was maxed out. Like it was crazy. So I was jumping through servers and just like recording each one.
Don't you miss those days when like different servers were just packed, so you could like jump through in between them and then like see different people, see different crowds? It's a different vibe almost.
Yes. Well, it was a good time, and it's still pop into that. Like I said, it's just, I think it's just because we are now exposed to it so much. It's like having a loud volume, and then just it keeps playing at that volume, so we're just used to it now. Because like I said, this is an insane event just we're at now, and it's just because we're like, people that are coming here for the first time are checking it out, and they're like blown away. And I think we're just used to it, because like Baby Dolls throws weekly, it's like in Medicine Down does weekly, everybody does weekly, so it's like just so many cool events. And I think it's I think back then it was just and it was a little bit tougher because everything was like kind of like, oh, what server is what. But now it's like people know, like, okay, like the most popular servers are like DG because of Decentraland games, and things are a little bit more like kind of figured out now. But it was more Wild West for sure back then.
I mean, definitely things are a little bit more figured out, but at the same time, it's like we're still noobs in this.
Yes. Oh, by the way, just a funny observation. I think Gucci Toe literally just put on a toga just because we were talking about that event. So rock on to you, Gucci.
I almost want to throw my toga on and join him with it.
That's so funny.
Could you tell us a little bit about the project you are currently working on, Castle Crew?
Yeah, definitely. Castle Crew is like an insanely it's really one of those like almost impossible projects. It's like very ambitious. As people know, everyone's already called us kind of crazy for doing Waifumon because the average process or that people do is they release 10,000 max profile picture style NFTs, and then they just kind of go from there. But Waifumon was like 150,000 projects, which is unique ones, which made us like at the time we were like the second biggest one. CryptoKitties obviously beats us, but now over time we've now become one of the second owners wise under CryptoKitties, which is really cool. So it's like kind of like a fun. We're not like going the path everyone else is taking. We're kind of doing our own thing. But the reason why I think this is this Castle Crew one's pretty cool is because it's kind of like a combination of things. We're trying to like kind of test the limits of the NFT utility. I'm posting right here a URL of a trailer. We're working on like a 3D like princess type feature film, which is we're spending a lot of time. It's been like I wrote this a couple years ago, been working on it for years, and we're releasing a 2 million NFT project with it, and to help kind of like fund it, and also where people can share if it sells out, equity in the project too. So it's very ambitious, but we this is not an overnight thing. We're gonna do what we do with Wifemon every day.
Take it one day at a time.
Yeah. Thank you, Coke Smash and Nana Juice. I appreciate it. Yeah, it does look awesome. I guess we spent a lot of time on it, so I appreciate that. Smash says reminds me of the animated version of Atlantis. Yes, I love that movie. That movie was sick. I think some of the vibes you're picking up too is because this is based on Mayan and Aztec, folklore, and it's kind of got those same type of roots, and they kind of drew on through those as well. And so yeah, we had a lot of fun with that, and that's the trailer we made for it so far. If you guys want to check out, these are the this is the URL. I just posted it, and thanks, Gucci. Gucci, tell what's up. So he is in this. All right, so he is listening. He probably did put on the toga because we were talking about it. But yeah, it's these are the NFTs we're making for it, and they're similar to Waifumon, but they're more like princess types. And just like this is like kind of, it's not really important, but it's like a personal vendetta. I'm Mexican American. And we're like literally the only demographic that hasn't gotten the 3D princess yet. It's insane. I know. I don't understand why. Like, it's like, I think a big, space for money to Disney to make, but they won't do it. So I guess we'll do it. But they've done great jobs. Like Coco is like one of my favorite movies of all time, and they just came out with Encanto. So I appreciate it, but still haven't gotten a Disney princess. So we're like, all right, we'll just do it ourselves. Thank you, Furman, an official Crypto Cube. I appreciate it. Surgeon One, looking out. Thank you so much. And Meta One Designs, yeah, meow. But yeah, we've been working on this and we're just like, basically we've been making this movie before I even knew about NFTs and stuff, and we're still going to continue working on it regardless of if we sell out the NFTs to fund it or not. Because I guess what we're doing with the utility is if we sell out the NFTs, they own a portion of equity in the movie when we sell it to theaters, and it's going to help us try to get big names. Like it's really unlikely, but you never know. We're trying to get like A-listers to do some of the voices, like Selena Gomez and stuff. But like I said, it's not really likely because anything that has the words NFT or in it, like their agents usually just delete those emails. But I pitched them on Twitter and stuff and on Instagram, and we've been trying to just basically, if not, we're down. We already have like a couple voice over actresses, and we've already did the entire script. Just in case that they're not A-listers, but we're just gonna do it. We have the storyboard done, and we had kind of like a fake little like 2D version of the movie that we're gonna have a premiere in Decentraland very soon about. As soon as we finish doing like some of like the lines and stuff that we want to fix, just so we can like have a fun little red carpet premiere. I'm not quite sure. I was talking to Bit Bears about it, but I haven't heard from them in a while. So I don't know where we're gonna have the red carpet premiere, but we'll just have like a fun. Everyone here is invited. Obviously, it'll be free and it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's like the plan with that so far, and it's been a fun project. So it's kind of like the other thing that we've been working on aside from Life One.
I mean, it's an awesome project. Like, holy crap, did your team do the animation and everything?
Yes, we did, and it took a lot of time. For those that know about this kind of animation, I'm actually excited to talk to these people, everyone here, because a lot of these people have experience in Blender, working with those strands of hairs. We have to, individually put each strand of hair in these girls' heads to make them move with the gravity, and when they stand up and stuff. It's several people just work on. That's just their job. It's just the hair. So it's like this is like not like an easy project, and that's why like normally these movies cost, Disney. If you go on Google right now and look at the budgets, they're like $100 million to like $200 million. But we're just like nerds, and we all have been doing this our whole life. So we're getting it done for pretty much less than that, like to $10 to $20 million. And most of this has been self-funded by me, just because, like I said, it's a personal vendetta. I just feel that we deserve a Disney princess as well. But if they don't want to do it, then we'll do it. But it's just been a lot of fun. It's been a passion project, and it's something that will just like, even if I never get it funded, like I'll just personally in Blender just continue to work on it until I die. So it's been fun.
Continue the vendetta. I fully support the vendetta.
Yeah, I love it. Heck yeah, no other.
We will make Disney notice you, and then they're gonna send you an angry letter like, hey, we thought about Mexican princesses before you did.
And I'll be like, you probably have. But you didn't do anything about it. That's the issue. But yeah, and it's been fun because like through my research with this, I've learned about a ton of other, like not just Latina or Mexican, but like potential candidates for princesses across the board in all different cultures and folklore. And so like that's why we came up with like this NFT. The thing is like long term, it's like these are like the bottom of the barrel like IPs that like Disney won't use because they're like dark stories, and stuff. I mean, Little Mermaid and stuff and Cinderella are actually based on really dark stories. And they had to really obviously family friend tone them down, but it's there's some pretty dark stories out there with like Brothers Grimm and stuff, and it's there's a lot of potential there. So I was like, if they don't want to do it, then maybe we'll do it. So we're giving it a shot, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, if anyone can do it, I believe you can, Aaron.
Thanks, man. And it looks like we already got some volunteers. Coke Smash says, if you ever need extra voice actors, I'm always interested. Got a decent mic, record with. I love it. Yes, we got to work together on this. Meta One Design says, that's cool. Love it. We're working on it, most likely. And Coke Smash says, you know it. So looking out. I appreciate it, guys.
One last question to the castle crew. Okay, you were saying about the strain of hairs, how you had to individually put them on. How do you have a count of how many your team put on?
That is a good question, and the answer is no, I do not, because we just are really bad at what we're doing. We don't have a professional workflow, so it's just click, 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 click. It is a lot of clicking, and honestly, like I've already gotten like into a lot of fights with some of the people we work with, because if you look at most Disney princesses, they have shorter hair that are 3D, because then it can kind of work with the or they're like in some type of knot, or like what's the word I'm looking for, braid, so that way it's kind of more easy to do. Like the only one they did that was not like that was Tangled, which was really hard, because it's like she has long hair and it moves around a lot. But we had one of the main characters, there's her Naya, she's based on Brazilian folklore, She has just long hair, and she's like kind of like a Tarzan figure. Like she was, raised by jaguars, and her hair is just wild, and it just like it's long, and it's just like really hard. Like if you like, okay, she's standing up, so her hair, it's like, oh crap, we just did a render, and the hair is like going inside her body.
Mm-hmm.
We have to redo it. It's like, I'm sorry guys, but we chose this dark path, so now we have to. And CK Bubbles says, so I hear you love chicken nuggets. That's 1,000% true. And and what I'm doing, it's very soon. We're launching Waifumon NFT shirts. I think we're going to sell them for $1 in Decentraland, and for every dollar, the proceeds go to more chicken nuggets for me. So, we'll stay tuned. Stay tuned. Frisky Bumblebee, awesome stuff, man. Really excited. I appreciate that too as well. And of course, Sinful chicken nuggies.
May I ask if the proceedings will go to Satoshi Shop and then get filtered into your belly?
Yes. So all proceeds of Waifumon have gone to Satoshi Shop, but the thing is, there hasn't been. I mean, we sold over 3,000, which is really cool, Waifumon. But it's all the money we put into the site so far has been way past that. So all the non-negative money, yes, we'll buy chicken nuggets with for sure. We'll definitely do that.
One day, Aaron. One day we'll get you all the chicken nuggets.
Hell yes. If everyone knows, they follow me on Twitter. Every couple of days, I post something about either chicken nuggets or Costco hot dogs. Those are the two food groups that anyone needs to live off of.
Two food groups.
Oh yeah.
With that, you can cover everything you need.
Hell yeah. Billy T Coin knows what's up too on the chicken roll. I love it.
Okay, so moving on. I know there was another question I wanted to ask you, but my high ass can't remember. So, I'm just gonna poke at everyone. At the beginning of this episode, Ethereum was actually at 1,000. Now it's at 1,100.
Oh, shoot.
We bounced, guys. Not really.
Another tangent to go on about chicken nuggets, Father Finn. I agree. He says, I still own the Szechuan sauces. That's really funny that you say that, because I still have 24 of them in my fridge. For anyone that knows what Szechuan sauce is, McDonald's every couple years they do like a resale of them, and you have to buy like a ton. You have to buy like a ton because they only do it for a couple of days. So to me, those are like basically the Bored Ape Yacht Club of dipping sauces. So if you guys ever get your hands on those, buy a lot.
So when we spoke yesterday, you had mentioned that you recently got your grant passed.
Yes. Want to really shout out to everybody here. Thank you guys so much for voting and helping us get through it. Yes, it was like my third attempt to get this passed, but I learned more. Took everybody's feedback and learned a lot. And so, yeah, we got it passed, and we've been working very hard. We're going to be building a weekly course, it's not just parkour. There's like different types of styles of quizzes and puzzles, and we're trying to make it like kind of like an adventure type thing, like Zelda kind of thing, but working with 2x2s. Or any type, so basically the reason why this is important is like we have a decent team, but we need more help. So if we're hiring with the grant money, if anybody wants to, that knows how to build or wants to learn how to build, feel free, please hit me up. We need all the help we can get, cause we're building a lot. It's an insanely ambitious, thing that we're trying to do, for all of us that have worked with these builders before, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and so far I pretty much hit up not everybody, like a lot of people that I've known that have built things before in the community, and everybody's been pretty responsive, and some people are going to take on like one of the courses, but we have a lot. So if anybody has even just ideas, or if they want to try something out or anything, let us know, because we're definitely working on those and hiring. So I want to appreciate, thanks for everybody for helping us, and also if you guys want to help, let us know.
Rest in peace to Aaron's DMs.
Yes, yes, heck yeah. Although they've been wrecked since since Wife and One started. Every time, like it's like a common. I would say 10% of people asking me to sponsor them for to be a delegate. Like 30 to 40, and actually 60% people ask me how come they haven't gotten the daily wife from on because they take like a couple days to drop them every day. I'm like, dude, like I was like, dude, I sent you like 30 wife from on already. Like, just give me another day or two. So
It's
and then
coming.
yeah. And then Decentraland wearables too. People keep asking me. They want they've redeemed them. So it's like if we have it on our page, where if you like collect 50 Wifemon, you get this Decentraland wearable for free, or if you collect 100, you get this. So we get some of those too. But luckily, Waifu Lab, or AKA Wifumon, the one that runs the Twitter, they're helping me with that portion of it because it's hard. I sometimes just don't get some Twitter DMs because it's just so many. I get so many of those, and it's I feel bad. So I'm like that way it's more direct and they can get it faster. And especially with this course, because we're gonna do it where people can collect wearables, kind of like ice poker, where it's like certain levels of it through the collecting the Wifumons to complete each course. We want to have like a really easy process for everybody to obtain those things. So it's not just having to go through a person, which is it's too much work.
Exactly. Well, I mean, everyone heard it here first. Aaron Leupp is hiring.
Yes, we pay either USD or Mana or Waifu Nuggets.
Can I get paid in gum?
Yes, we can even find you some of that Zoo Stripe gum too.
So let's say for anyone out there that's thinking about posting or putting up a proposal for a grant in the near future, what would be your biggest tip to them?
My biggest tip to them, before I do, I want to answer some of these comments too. Yes, Costco pizza and the chicken bakes; those are definitely up there too. I'm apologize. I know you said Sam's Club chicken bake, Coke Smash, but I'm sorry, it doesn't compare to Costco at all. So I have to debate you on that. And Mr. CEO just saying hi, I appreciate it, much love. And then CK Bubbles talking about the hottie sauce, love it. But yes, so serious note, back to the proposal. Yes, so like let me like I've been through this ringer obviously a lot. You guys can look at my history. I've posted like 8 different proposals, and I would say like almost all my proposals always get shot down. But I like to do it because it's like I learn from it, and like things that we got to try out, and we got to get people's feedback. So we don't know until we try, and the best thing I would do is I would definitely do some research about what the demand is, what people want first, obviously. So that way, when you're pitching something, it's even you have to have like massive clout, like Gary, to say I want you to pay for my house and car, like, to get that done. So massive respect to you, bro. But most people want things obviously from the DAO. They want it to be relevant to Decentraland and how it can increase everyone's either mana or properties or things that are wearables. So do your research obviously first, and then and get a lot of people and if you get people behind it before you even post it, then it's easy because then you can get people's feedback, and then you post it, and then you get their feedback and you tweet about it or DM them. But then it's you got to put in the grind, and you have to kind of just DM a lot of people and Shark Tank pitch them basically and be okay with getting a lot of not only positive feedback, but you will get negative feedback, and rightfully so, because people you're asking for money, so that just comes with the territory. And so just be okay with that and kind of learn from it and kind of get people's perspectives and kind of utilize that information and kind of pivot your proposals to do it. So that's like my biggest advice to anybody. And that way, and don't be upset too if it's like the first one that you pitch doesn't work out. Just really take that as a learning lesson and kind of absorb that information you receive, and just keep pitching until you either what you want to pitch is just not something worth it. That's why just don't have to do it, pitch it anymore, and you can move on. Or if you learned a lot and you say, people say, like, one thing I've learned quickly. And this was before I was even pitching. I just used to go to the town halls a lot and just kind of was like a fly on the wall and just listen. A lot of people just hated on pretty much any proposal that was requesting land. in the proposal. And so I was like, okay, so I learned that like a lot of people don't want that. So, I've learned from other people pitching that that's not what they wanted. So I, never requested that in mine. And doing those type of things makes it a lot easier. I mean, this is really, it's funny because it's like, these are all, funny cartoon JPEGs and all that meme names and stuff. But this is like kind of basically politics, it's become politics, and it's like campaigning and all these funny things that have, you would think have nothing to do with what is going on, but it's the process you got to go through, and you learn from it. So yeah, definitely ask around, definitely pitch people, and if you want to pitch, look at people's VP too as well. I mean, for me, I have like, I like to pitch everyone just because that's what I like to do. So I don't care about your VP. That's why usually we get like 100+ votes on something, and sometimes it just won't pass. So you have to also focus on people that have IVP, but also understand, that those people, their jobs are to make sure, because they know that they have, what the VP comes with, great power comes great responsibility. So they want to make sure what you're pitching is genuine and does benefit in some way. So definitely listen to them, and take what they say, and hopefully pivot or move from there.
Then there's me that comes in and says, "Where's name?"
Yes, the legendary response. And I think that's great too, because when you say that, which is so funny, but it's kind of true, because it's kind of like a very simple thing that's like, you're saying like, did you even do your homework? Because it's like, if you didn't even buy a name, then it's like, maybe you don't care, then it's like, then you don't really care about like what you're pitching, or you don't even know how to, which is, it's understandable, but you can learn and pivot from it. It's like, it just takes time, but it's like, kind of like, it helps weed out if somebody's like, hey, I just want to buy a house in Los Angeles with this money, give it to me. And then it's like that, and it's that person, you don't know they've ever even been on Decentraland, like they don't have a name, they never played it, it has nothing to do with Decentraland. So it's a funny meme that you do, but I actually think it's got a lot of thought behind it too.
I poke, that's for sure. I poke as much as I can.
Cracks me up.
I mean, and to tell you the truth, I feel like I have personally, reached some people with that method. I had mentioned to you that I had done that to one of the proposals recently, and had one of the architects reach out to me, and
oh wow,
he had come at me like, all like, it's funny how you're saying that I don't contribute to the community when I've been building here for 5 months, and then I, go on to ask him the question like, hey, that's cool. What do you hang out on Decentraland? Do you know anyone in Decentraland? And he just draws a blank there, and then that's where my suggestion came. Like, hey, maybe before you ask for a $240,000 grant to do your thing, I'm not gonna mention it. How about you come in, hang out with us? Tell people your ambitions. Show them that you're here to build and not to take. And I feel like I may have changed his way of thinking. Perhaps maybe his team is working right now diligently to like buy names.
You're like, how to buy name on Google. That's great. Well, it's good because, like I said, it's kind of like, it's funny. It's like, this is kind of a weird tangent, but it's kind of like back in I don't know if there's like different music, they're like punk rock, and they're like, you could tell if somebody just was kind of just like pretending, and it's kind of like that kind of, I feel those kind of the vibes with this, but this is kind of a little more serious, because that's just like, who cares about what music you like and what bands you listen to, right? This is like a different level. This is like, hey, we're like trying to, it's kind of not a company, but not, it's like, we're trying to build something. You're requesting money to help build this for the community, but if you don't know, if you didn't even ask the community what they want, then there's like 1,000% proof that there's really zero intention that that you've even asked around. So it's a wild thing, but I can't blame them if if it's like, hey, they think this is an opportunity, why, obviously they go for it, but with questions like you asking that are very simple, why don't you have a name, it's like, that should be addressed. It's like, do you if you're not, because like for me, it's like I invested in my name just because it's like for fun and I just like it, it's like whatever. But it's like kind of like I think it's that came with me just being a fan of this game and the community and everybody in it and just kind of having a good old time. So it's like I think it kind of like does a level of entry of like, oh, this person, even though it wasn't research, I was just having fun. I was making fan art. It's like that actually became research without even thinking about it. So it's like, yeah, I think it's a good little level, level of entry. And this is kind of funny. Another thing that Crypto Tango was pitching, I kind of agreed with, is that so in Bored Ape Yacht, they just released their DAO, and I even pitched something in their DAO recently, and what they have, and I learned from them, which is kind of cool, is that you can't pitch anything unless if you own at least like one ape coin, like just one. And I think that was kind of smart because it's kind of like, okay, so this person at least understands the process of buying one ape coin. And I think like, I know it sucks because I'm like totally against barrier of entries across the board, but I think what it would do, it's like, if it's like, okay, now mana is 80 cents. It's like, okay, if you can't pay 80 cents to just pitch anything, then it's like, okay, maybe you don't really care and this is not serious, you're just having fun. Because I mean, I don't know, I mean, you probably know above anyone else, there's a lot of like spam stuff that just, not really spam, but just like jokes or just random weird things. Like Crypto Tango was telling me that there's a lot of people that are like asking for certain names to be deleted, but they're just kind of random, and it's like that could be eliminated if they just had to require to own one mana.
That is true. That is true. I've also have seen like maybe even thoughts of like players being able to gain that mana as they spend time on Decentraland, but I don't know how that could be not taken advantage of. Couldn't someone like make 100 wallets and then just spent the time needed?
No, of course, but for them to make 100, no, because I'm saying just to pitch anything, right? Like if I want a name deleted or something, I have to have one mana. And you're right, someone can have like 1,000 mana and then like make 100 or 1,000 wallets and give each one of them one mana. But it's like at least they bought a mana. So like what they're pitching like is like kind of some like, and it doesn't avoid, like, if I'm not talking about voting, like I'm not talking about like voting power or anything. I'm just saying like just to pitch like, hey, I want this done or that done, or just any type of proposal. I think maybe, I mean, that's what Bored Ape Yacht does. So like, so that's just something that they do. I don't really know if it's effective for them or not. They're not as experienced, I could tell too, in the DAO process as we are, because I've been pitching a Bored Ape that's already passed. They have 3 phases. They don't just do like what we do, where it's just like you just pitch something and people vote. You have to make it a draft that people like, talk crap about it, so you can pivot and learn, and then you keep changing it, and then you get to vote. But for them, what I've learned is that like, I can interact with people in the DAO easily. They're ape DAO, it's no problem. But like, I pitched a lot of people my friends that are, that own apes about this, and they're like, what, we have a DAO? They're like, how do I log on? They're like, wait, are you sure this isn't a scam and you're still trying to steal my ape? I'm like, yo, it's the ApeCoin DAO URL. Like, I'm like, just Google it if you don't trust me. Like, but it's like, they're not, I could tell this is very new to them. Like, it's like they don't understand it at all. Like, if I say something about the DAO to anybody here in Decentraland, like, a lot of people would probably know what we're talking about, but for them, you could tell it's a new thing. So I think, yeah, like I said, this is what they're doing, but who knows? Maybe it doesn't work well because they're very new.
Hey, I mean, it's good that you're actually making the effort to kind of make it a thing within the Bored Ape community, because when it comes down to it, they do have a lot of influence on what goes on in the Web3 space. They just one swing of the dick and it fucking markets fucking shift from fucking okay bears to goblins.
Exactly, it's wild. Yeah, and there's a lot of apes that the people that own apes that I met that are actually really cool. But there are a couple that you could tell they have that vibe where, like, because the thing that I was pitching in them is like that. I'll also Decentraland's been trying to work with everybody is I want to have it where like it's a linked wearable. It's like you own an ape and then you go into other side metaverse, and you have your skin in there. You come into Decentraland, right, and you have your ape skin in here, and you go to Sandbox and you have your skin in there. So it's like kind of like building a massive utility to the NFTs, which is like, people that have been pitching this for a while. They've even, like, there's talk that, I remember that people announced that they were working on it about a year ago, and I asked around. I haven't heard if they finished it or dropped it or not, but I just don't. I want them to do it. That's why I'm pitching this, because I'm like, they're gonna lead the way. It's gonna lead the way for everyone else's NFTs are gonna have linked wearables, and I think that's gonna really, people are gonna understand NFTs more. It's like, oh, because the end game is like, when I buy a skin in Fortnite, I own it in all games, right? Then it's like everyone understands it now. So that's why I'm like, kind of trying to like be that guy that like trying to nudge it. It's like, hey, why isn't this rock moving? I want it to keep moving so we can keep growing. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is, like, long story short, is that some guys were like, I pitched it to them, and they're like, oh, this is a great idea, but you need to tell Decentraland.